And welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today we'll be discussing none other than Hydro Hog, the Emperor of the Dark Waters. Thank you guys all for your concerns about when I'm going to be coming back. Got sick for a few weeks there and it really kicked my butt. I would like to say it was more than just a villain of the week type of sickness. It was, it lingered on for more than it had its own little saga. I would probably get on levels of Green with Evil level of saga of sickness that just threw me for a loop there. But I am back and we're going to continue on here with this new episode talking about Hydro Hog. Let's go into it. Just who exactly is Hydro Hog, you must be wondering. Well, if you had been watching in the early seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3, the Akatarian Rangers were summoned when, well, the main cast and crew of Mighty Morphin were all turned to kids because Zed turned back time along with Master Vile, and these kids couldn't morph anymore. They had no powers and they couldn't deal with these things. So the Akatarian Rangers were summoned by Zordon to basically save the Rangers while they figured out how to become adults. And this wasn't one episode. This was like an entire 10 episode saga going on. Well, the Emperor of all evil decided, I need a better way to deal with these new threat of Rangers, these Aquatarian Rangers, and I'm going to go after one of their villains and see if they know how to defeat these guys, because we're having a hard time dealing with these ninja Rangers from space, essentially. Well, that's why they went after the Emperor of the Dark Waters of Aquitar, and his name is Hydro Hog. Now, he was a pretty big villain, apparently. He was the equivalent to Lord Zed for the Aquatarian Rangers. And, well, let's go into a little bit more about where he came from. Now, he is first mentioned by one of the blue Aquatarian Rangers. I'm going to butcher this name, I just want you to know this. Sestro? It's been a while since I've watched the episode, so go there. Sestro. After Billy asked, hey, I know you guys fought many villains and stuff like that, but, we fought Lord Zed. Do you have anybody equivalent? And that's where they go, yeah, we do. We have the Emperor of the Dark Waters, who has the power to evaporate water. Now, it's interesting. Hydro Hog is the power to evaporate dark water, and he's the Emperor of Dark Water. I would have thought he'd been, more, the name like that. You get a different title, something like Cthulhu, like Dagon or something. No, this guy just has the power to evaporate water. Now, why is that such a threat to the Aquatarian Rangers? Well, the Aquatarian Rangers their prime power source is water. So anyone who can evaporate their prime power source, yeah, that's a major threat to them. Now, why is he the Emperor of Dark Water? I don't know. Now, after this is brought up by Billy to Sestro, Rita and Zed had been basically spying on the Rangers the entire time, as they normally do in every Ranger, because apparently the Rangers don't know how to communicate in secret. Rita and Zed just looked down and went, that's a good idea. We should summon this Hydro Hog to finish off the alien Rangers, because if they fear this guy as much as these Rangers fear me, this will deal with it right then and there, and they'll lose, and then we can continue on our plan and conquer all of Earth. So they attempt to call Hydro Hog when Alpha 5 blocks the transmission with some quick jamming ideas, and that was the first episode, which was called Sowing the Seeds of Evil. Yes, the Seeds of Evil. So he's prevented from doing so, and Zed's like, but don't worry, we'll figure this out. Now, in the next episode, well, Zed tries to contact Hydro Hog again. But this time, he knows he's going to get blocked, so it's kind of a decoy. And once it gets blocked again, Zed waits until the command center has blocked it, and then sends out another mission, a transmission, entirely out to reach Hydro Hog. This time, it does meet with Hydro Hog, and his first response is essentially, yeah, Zed, what do you want this time? So they have a connection beyond just, two great powers knowing something. And it's weird that Lord Zed kind of forgot about him to deal this the perfect way. But then again, he's been very stressed after 2 seasons of not being able to deal with these power punks. And then he got married, and a whole host of other things going on here. And I don't think he expected the Equatorian Rangers, but, hey, the next thought that would come to my mind is, how do we kill these guys? Oh, wait, their greatest threat is this guy, Hydro Hog. Now, it's never exactly said what the connection was between the two, but they do know each other. It's probably through conquest of some sort. They might have worked well together. He definitely has contracted him before, by the way the words said there. But we don't know exactly in the past what Hydro Hog did for Lord Zed. Probably, again, evaporate the water of some planet to further cause the demise of some poor existence of some alien species out there. But, again, we don't know for certain. Now, Hydro Hog agrees to come and work with Lord Zed because he feels like there's little to do on Aquitar without the Aquitar Rangers. Essentially, he's bored. He's like, I'm winning the fight. Sure, I guess. Like, he might need a challenge. Maybe he's just depressed. I don't know. I don't think any point of like, oh, I guess there's nothing to do here. Unless he's also like going, well, I could right here work with Zed, kill off these Rangers, and then go from that point. But he's a very little lackadaisical feel about like actually coming to Earth. He's like, yeah, I'll go there and evaporate all the waters on planet Earth and make the Rangers helpless, and Earth would be easy to conquer after that. Now he arrives on Earth. He instantly drains the Angel Grove Park Lake using a water spout, and is confronted by the Aquitar Rangers. They go, shit, he's here, and he's too powerful for them. Instantly nearly kills them all by draining the moisture from them, and like they're left almost dead on the end of that episode, known as Hog Day Afternoon Part 2. Now there's no Hog Day Afternoon Part 1. It's just how that's going there. Now they're only saved again by Billy, who's able to restore the Aquitarian Rangers by using a device to create an artificial rain cloud that is able to hydrate them once again. But still, Hydro Hog is able to defeat them during a rooftop battle, even before he's made into giant by Rita and Zed. Now, I don't know, it's not said that how he goes giant on Aquitar, because, they have Zords, so it's not exactly certain what goes on there. But he needs the help of Rita and Zed to grow giant here. And it might be a different device he has back at home for his own thing. Maybe he doesn't use magic. It's not a fully expressed out reason here. So there is that. Now, the Aquitarian Rangers summon the Shogun Zord, and still he overwhelms it with his sword and is capable of blocking the Fire Saber finisher. Like, he just goes block, and they're like going, crap, this is not going the way we thought it was going to do. He takes out the Zord and basically nearly destroys it. Now, Billy and the other Rangers are watching in horror and use the Falcon Zord remotely to summon the White Ninja Falcon Zord to basically disarm him. And he tries to take it out with his fire breath. Again, if he's the Emperor of Dark Water, why does he have fire breath? But hey, whatever. And he avoids the explosion and combines with the Shogun Mega Falcon Zord, which destroys Hydro Hog once and for all. With his destruction, all the water that he stole is restored, and Aquitar is now free of its greatest threat, though his greatest threat has a little bit of a problem there. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be like, I don't know why he was called Emperor of Dark Water, and if he's the greatest threat, Aquitar seems to be safe now. Now, they still have some other issues, along with the Hydro Contaminators, which have no connection to Hydro Hog. Yeah, very interesting there. But they might have had some connection, but from what I can tell, they have no connection at all with Hydro Hog, even though their names are very similar and they were both fighting Aquitar. Now, even with his defeat, they still become under the threat of these contaminators who are trying to poison the water of Aquitar instead of draining it. They might have been like some sub-commanders or something else, or some faction that worked under him and decided to go in a different route rather than try to steal water or evaporate water. They decided, let's just poison the water, and eventually they came to an understanding here between the two forces of Aquitar and Hydro contaminators. Now, the major thing that Hydro Hog did do, though, is that his entire battle was the greatest distraction of all time. Again, it was another decoy used by Zed for Rito Revolto and Goldar to sneak into the command center, plant a bomb, and destroy it, which led to the events of Power Rangers ZEO. So that's what he accomplished. He was not only used to basically nearly destroy the Rangers, but also he just went after. He was actually just another pawn used by Zed, and I think Zed didn't really care too much if he actually defeated the Rangers. Even if he just defeated the Aquitarian Rangers, he had this other plan to use a bomb to defeat the Rangers once and for all, even if he lost. And that was his overall plan. And because once the base blew up, Zed and Rita and all the monsters were partying, going like, we did it, hooray, we did it. Like, they had a huge party. And then the Robot Empire showed up. So, yeah, the Machine Empire showed up, sorry. And that was the thing. But Hydro Hog contributed to that. And it was 3 full episodes of just him messing up people, apparently. Now, in the Sentai version of this, he was just a minor Monster of the Week villain. He was only there for like 1 episode, apparently, and that was it. And that's kind of like how it all went. He wasn't the threat that he was here. And I understand why they brought him in here, because it was a good way to deal with the Aquitarian Rangers. It was another water monster villain. The only thing that really, really confuses me, guys, is his title, Emperor of the Dark Waters. When he uses basically fire and water spouts. I don't see a Dark Waters thing here, but whatever. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I mean, all his powers are Fire Breath, Dehydrating Touch. He can play his hand on a victim, and he dehydrates foes of water. You see him works through his feet. So he's basically just a big moisture sucker. Water Drain and Teleportation. That's it. I don't know where the Dark Waters came from, unless his base was really deep underwater. I don't know. Unless you guys can tell me down below. I don't think the title really sticks, but hey, who are we to really go after the man who nearly destroyed the Aquitarian Rangers without the help of the actual Rangers themselves, all by himself? Here he is, Hydro Hog. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. If you have any questions at all, don't be afraid to drop down below. We'll be doing another What If zone. I am now starting to recover where I'm not constantly coughing and dying. So I'll be thinking of what the next What If is going to be. It's not as simple as many people think it is. I have to literally look at the entire scenario and see, is it plausible, and go from there. But we are working towards something, so do not worry. It kind of really is more of a list of series of events that leads me to go, that would be a really cool What If scenario, and it kind of pans out, what if this happened? But don't worry, guys, we're going to be starting here soon. I hope to have you going on there. We will be having some more content coming up soon with the new release of a new Power Rangers book comic book coming out in the next couple of months. There's a new #1 after this series has just ended. There was just too much going on there to fully invest time into that and keep you guys all updated. But there's a new series coming out, so we'll be doing that and talking about that weekly as that comes in. Thank you guys. Have a good one, and may the power protect you always.